For most of human history, Antarctica was a blank space on the map, a frozen wasteland where nothing could survive. At least, that's what we were told. But beneath 2 miles of ice, satellite scans have detected something that shouldn't exist. Straight lines, perfect angles, geometric formations spanning over a kilometer. Structures so large they rival entire cities. Scientists call them anomalies. Governments classify the data, and researchers who try to investigate have their funding cut and their findings suppressed. Here's the problem. Antarctica has been frozen for over 100,000 years. Human civilization, according to mainstream history, is only 6,000 years old. So how is their architecture older than humanity buried under the ice? Welcome back to Beyond the Forbidden. Today, we're exposing the discovery that's been erased from satellite maps, censored from academic journals, and buried under more than just ice. Hit subscribe. Turn on notifications, because what you're about to learn has been deliberately hidden from public view. Let's begin. It started with a routine thermal satellite pass over East Antarctica in 2016. The scan detected heat signatures beneath the ice. Not geological hotspots, not volcanic vents. Rectangular patterns with sharp, defined edges. The research team assumed it was a data error. They ran a second scan. Same results. Then a third scan confirmed what they were seeing. A massive formation over 1,500 feet wide, aligned with geometric precision that nature doesn't produce. Right angles, parallel lines, symmetrical spacing. The team prepared to publish their findings. Their paper was rejected by 3 major journals without peer review. Their satellite access was revoked, and within weeks, something even stranger happened. The coordinates were removed from Google Earth, Bing Maps, every public mapping platform, literally erased. Someone didn't want anyone looking at that specific region of Antarctica. But internal memos leaked from the research institution revealed the truth buried in bureaucratic language. Structure beneath ice shelf appears artificial in origin. Recommend data suppression pending further review. Not geological formation, not natural anomaly. Structure, artificial. Suppression. This wasn't speculation. This was documented acknowledgement that something beneath the Antarctic ice doesn't fit any accepted model of natural formation, and they chose to hide it rather than investigate it. To understand what's buried, you first need to understand when it was buried. Ice core samples taken from the region revealed something that contradicts established climate models. The ice sheet grew rapidly around 60,000 years ago, not gradually over millennia, but in what appears to be a sudden, catastrophic freeze. That's not how ice ages work according to current theory. Climate shifts happen over thousands of years, not decades. But the evidence suggests Antarctica froze almost instantly. Something caused a dramatic, violent shift that encased the entire continent in ice, which means whatever lies beneath was buried quickly, preserved before it could decay or erode. Some researchers believe this points to a global cataclysm, an asteroid impact, a solar event, a magnetic pole reversal, the kind of catastrophe that ancient flood myths describe across every culture on Earth. And if that's true, then the structure beneath the ice predates human civilization by tens of thousands of years. That opens a door mainstream science refuses to walk through. The possibility that advanced civilizations existed on Earth long before our accepted timeline. Because if something intelligent built those structures, it wasn't us. When LiDAR satellite scans penetrated deeper into the ice, the formations became even more disturbing. Beneath the surface lay corridors arranged in a perfect hexagonal grid pattern, spanning nearly a kilometer, the kind of layout you'd see in urban planning or industrial facilities. Nature doesn't create hexagonal grids. Geology doesn't produce parallel corridors with uniform spacing. This is architecture. But it gets stranger. At the center of the grid sits a circular formation, approximately 400 feet in diameter, buried under 2,300 feet of solid ice. The circle shows signs of segmentation, divided into sections like a wheel with spokes. This same circular design appears at ancient sites across the world: Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, Nabta Playa in Egypt, Sarmiento in Argentina, the Atacama geoglyphs in Chile, separated by continents, separated by thousands of years, yet sharing an identical blueprint. Coincidence doesn't explain that. Random chance doesn't produce the same architectural pattern on multiple continents across different time periods. Someone, or something, was building these structures according to a unified design, a global construction project that predates recorded history, and Antarctica holds the largest, most intact example. In 1995, a joint Norwegian-Russian research team attempted to reach the anomaly site. They had government clearance, military-grade equipment, and explicit orders to investigate the thermal signatures. They never returned. Satellite imagery captured their base camp 3 weeks after the last radio contact. Tents ripped open, equipment scattered across the ice, a trail of footprints leading away from camp toward the anomaly site. The footprints stopped abruptly, half a mile out. No bodies, no debris, just snow. Official reports claimed a storm caused disorientation, and the team perished from exposure. The investigation was closed. The families received death certificates, but no remains. But one thing leaked before the files were sealed. A radio transmission recorded hours before the team disappeared. A voice, barely audible over static. It's hollow. That transmission was never officially acknowledged. The audio file circulated briefly among Antarctic research communities before being scrubbed from servers. Hollow. Not solid rock, not compacted ice. Whatever they found beneath the surface had empty space inside. Here's something most people don't realize. Antarctica is the most heavily restricted continent on Earth. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959 by 12 nations and now ratified by over 50, prohibits unauthorized exploration. You cannot travel freely. You cannot dig without permits. You cannot explore certain zones at all. The official reason? Environmental protection. But consider what's actually restricted. Military aircraft have established no-fly corridors over specific regions, including the area where the anomaly was detected. Civilian flights are rerouted. GPS signals scramble in certain zones. Satellite imagery over these areas is frequently blurred or replaced with older, lower-resolution data. Independent satellite analysts have documented entire sections of Antarctica that are pixelated on every major mapping platform. Not environmental monitoring stations, not research bases. Random sections of ice with nothing visible to justify the censorship. The anomaly sits directly in one of these restricted zones. This isn't environmental protection. Environmental surveys require transparency, not suppression. This is military-level operational security applied to an ancient structure buried under ice. Why would governments treat a geological formation as classified intel? Because it's not geological, and they know it. Let's examine what the evidence suggests. Theory 1. A pre-ice civilization. Antarctica wasn't always frozen. Geological surveys confirm the continent had temperate forests and rivers as recently as 100,000 years ago. If an advanced civilization existed there before the freeze, their cities would now be perfectly preserved under ice. The structure could be a temple complex, a power facility, a massive archive. Whatever it is, it predates the ice that buried it. Theory 2. A non-human intelligence. Some researchers believe an intelligent species existed on Earth before modern humans, not extraterrestrial, terrestrial, evolved, advanced, and then wiped out by whatever catastrophe froze Antarctica. The structure could be all that remains of their civilization, a final monument to a species erased from history. Theory 3. An active installation. The thermal readings suggest an internal heat source that's still functioning. The circular formation resembles reactor architecture. The hexagonal grid resembles a containment or distribution system. If the structure is generating heat after being buried for tens of thousands of years, it's not passive, it's operational. That means power, energy storage, technology that survives longer than any civilization we know of. Theory 4. A vault of knowledge. Ancient texts describe floods, ice ages, and destruction, but also describe survivors who fled underground or beneath the oceans. The Sumerian texts mention the Abzu, a subterranean realm of wisdom. Hindu scriptures describe hidden cities beneath the earth. Tibetan legends speak of Agartha. What if Antarctica is a sealed vault, a repository of knowledge from a civilization that knew they were about to be erased and preserved everything they could? One thing is certain: whatever lies beneath the ice, someone already knows what it is, and they've been keeping it secret for decades. In the last decade, Antarctica has lost over 3 trillion tons of ice. The continent is warming faster than almost any region on Earth. Ice sheets that have been solid for 100,000 years are cracking, carving, and collapsing. And as the ice melts, more of the structure is being exposed. Recent satellite images show new sections emerging from the ice shelf. Shapes too precise to be natural, edges too straight to be erosion. The truth is coming out on its own. No amount of data suppression can stop glacial retreat. Nature is doing what researchers were forbidden to do, uncovering what's been hidden. Within the next 50 years, significant portions of the structure will be fully visible, accessible, undeniable. And when that happens, they'll have to explain why they hid it for so long. Maybe this is an ancient civilization lost to time. Maybe it's a precursor species erased from history. Or maybe it's something that never belonged to Earth in the first place. But one thing is undeniable. Something is beneath the ice. Something geometric, something structured, something that generates heat and was buried long before human history began. And governments have been hiding it for decades. The ice won't stay frozen forever, and when it melts, the truth will be impossible to ignore. This is beyond the forbidden, and the structure in Antarctica is proof that our history is a lie. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, share this video, and remember, the deepest secrets aren't hidden in archives. They're buried under 2 miles of ice. See you next time.